All right, Shalom. First, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rachakodash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect. Real quick, all right. I was meditating earlier today, okay, thinking about the kingdom of heaven, okay, and how the Lord said that those that believe in Him. Well, real quick, let me just get that. Okay, what the Lord said here, I actually meditated on. I was like, whoa, let me just pull it up real quick. All right, because you have a lot of fables in today's society concerning the kingdom of heaven, concerning these other things that'll cause you to think that, heaven is just like some boring place. You just go up there and, you just sit under a tree for all eternity, not doing anything. You just sit there and that's it. All right. Let me see. Okay, this is John chapter 3, verse 36. All right. It says, the Father loveth. I'll start at verse 35. The Father loveth the Son, and hath given all things into his hand. Yeah, because he gave dominion of everything to Yahushai. He that believeth on the Son hath everlasting life, and he that believeth not the Son shall not see life, but the wrath of the Most High abideth on him. Okay, so let's deal with that part right there, everlasting life. Because this is something that, we read and we understand it. All right. In the know, everlasting life means what? Immortality. Okay. But in the kingdom, because the Lord did say, okay, let me get that real quick. Because where are we going to have that everlasting life? Let's pull that up. This is Matthew 19 and 29. Oh boy. I'll come back to the scripture too. It says, and everyone that hath forsaken houses, or brethren, or sisters, or father, or mother, or wife, or children, or lands, for my name's sake, all right, which is what we do when we come into this truth. We forsake all those things. We forsake the pursuit of increasing in houses, or certain brothers. If you might have brothers in the world that don't understand this, you forsake them. Or sisters, or your parents, or your wife, or your kids, or your land, all that. You put the Lord first. All right. It says, for my name's sake, you see, shall receive 100-fold. Where is that going to be? In the kingdom. And shall inherit everlasting life. Where is that going to be? In the kingdom. Okay. We're going to receive 100-fold of what we lost here, or what we forsook here. And we're going to receive everlasting life in the kingdom. Now really think about that, okay? Because now we're going to break down, what is that? What is life? Okay? What is life everlasting? And that's going to be proof showing you where the kingdom of heaven is going to be. Okay? Because let me ask you something, man. First off, how do you get to the spirit world? All right? You don't go to the spirit world with your mortal flesh. You go there with your spirit. Because like Paul said, there's a spiritual body. All right. This is 1 Corinthians 15, verse 44. It is sown a natural body. It is raised a spiritual body. There is a natural body and there is a spiritual body. Okay. Let me actually look up sown over here. Okay. All right. So Paul said there's a spiritual body and there is a natural body. And the natural body is what we use when we're here on the earth. And the spiritual body is what our spirit is in the spirit world. Okay. But check this. When you're alive, okay, to live or to be alive is really having your spirit in this dimension. Okay. In the carnal body, in a body, in a fleshly body. All right. Death is simply the departure, okay, of your spirit from that body. Okay. Death is the departure of your spirit from that body. Okay, so as of right now, we don't live forever. That's why right now we still, well, that's why throughout the course of the earth we've experienced something called reincarnation. All right, re meaning back, and incarnation meaning in the flesh, to be incarnated. Okay, so why is that? Because our bodies deteriorate. All right, they're not perfect. Therefore, what happens? Your spirit inhabits the body. Once the body gets old or the body can't function anymore, the spirit goes back to the spirit world, and that's what you call death. When somebody's spirit, well, let me get that real quick. This is Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 7. Then shall the dust return to the earth as it was, and the spirit shall return unto the Most High who gave it. And that is what you call death. When your body goes back and decomposes back into the earth, and your spirit goes back to the spirit world. That is the separation. So really, you could say death is just a transition from one dimension to the other. Okay? And life is the opposite of death. So life is also the transition from the spirit world to this world. All right? You could say from the fourth dimension to the third dimension. All right? So now, so now we know what life is, right? Cool. So the first point is, how is the kingdom of heaven, where we're going to have everlasting life, how is that going to be in the spirit world? Because that's what people imagine. What happens? You die, right? And then you go, and then the Lord has a big book of good and bad, and everybody's there standing there naked, and then the Lord is like, okay, you did good, you come to my right. You did bad, you go to my left. And whoever comes to my right hand, you go to heaven. You come to my left, you go to hell. Right? Now, in that fantasy heaven, all right, because the scriptures do refer to the spirit world as one of the heavens, okay? But the kingdom of heaven, key word, the kingdom of heaven, okay? The kingdom of heaven is going to be on earth. Because if you're saying the kingdom of heaven is going to be in the spirit world, then that means in order to be or get into the kingdom, you have to die. But yet Yahweh Shai said what? He that believeth on him shall have what? Everlasting life. And in order to be alive, you got to be here on the earth, man. You got to be in the body. Okay? So, now let's look up the word life. I looked this up on the online etymology, all right, and then I found there was a lot of definitions, but the main one I found here, it says meaning conspicuously active part of human existence, pleasures or pursuits of the world or society. Okay? Pleasures or pursuits of the world or society. That is quote unquote life. Right? Now where does that happen? Because in the spirit world, they don't pursue the pleasures of the flesh or the pleasures of the world. And an example of the pleasures of the world is what? Having sex, okay, or getting married and all that stuff. Which what validates marriage is sex, okay. So let's get a precept on that. This is Matthew 22, verse 29. Okay, it says, Yahweh Shai answered and said unto them, Ye do err, not knowing the scriptures, nor the power of the Most High. For in the resurrection, all right, they neither marry nor are given in marriage, but are as the angels of God in heaven. Okay, so the Lord basically just said, what? The angels, let me see. If they don't marry, but are as the angels in heaven, that means what? The angels up there, man, they don't marry. They don't have sex. They don't feel the fleshly desires. And it's the same thing. Once you go into that spiritual body, after you die, you go up into the heavens, to that spiritual body, to the spirit world. You don't get the desires of the flesh. Okay? You become like the angels there. All right, now let me try something. Okay, yeah. So basically, that's what it is. So the Lord just said, here it is. The those who die. Okay, when you go to the spirit world and you become like an angel, or you become an angel, you don't feel the desires of the flesh, sex, all these different things. And like I said, that's what validates marriage, sex. So it says, but they are as the angels of the Most High in heaven. Okay, so now going back to the definition we came across. All right, going back to the definition we came across, it says what life is pleasures. Sex is a pleasurous act, but what does it please? It pleases the flesh. Okay, or pursuits of the world or society. So in order to experience these, all right, you have to be where on the earth where you can have a body, a natural body, I should say. Okay, because in the spirit world you ain't gonna be doing this. And the scriptures tell you, yes, in the kingdom we're gonna have sex. In the kingdom we're gonna marry. In the kingdom we're gonna have our heart's desires. We're gonna have pleasures and pursuits of the righteous world and society. So how is the kingdom of heaven gonna be up in the spirit world? Okay, now that's point number one. Okay, but like I said, I was gonna return to that scripture. Okay, that the Lord said about everlasting life, because he did make another key point in there too. Okay, this is Matthew 19, but this time I start at 28. And Yahushua said unto them, or I start at verse 27. Then answered Peter and said unto him, Behold, we have forsaken all and followed thee. What shall we have therefore? So Peter was asking, we're doing all the works. We gave up everything, to follow you and to do the works. But what are we gonna get? What is our reward? And hey, that's what we're waiting for. All right. And Yahushua said unto them, Verily, meaning truly, I say unto you, they which have followed me in the regeneration, which is what? In the reincarnation, and that's what we're doing right now. When the Son of Man shall sit in the throne of his glory, when is that? That's now. All right? In the last days. Because Yahushua is going to make his return. But he also said, what did he say? Basically that the end shall not come till all these be fulfilled, meaning these prophecies. So that means the mark of the beast, the martial law, the famines, the pestilence, that World War III, which the scriptures say Yahushua is going to return in the midst of World War III. And since we see all these things happening now, we know that we're in that time of Yahushua's return, the Messiah's second return. And when he returns and puts the world in subjection, that's when he's going to sit on his throne, right? So now we know that when he said in the regeneration, he was talking about in this generation that we're in right now, which proves reincarnation. Because while he tell them, ye, which have followed me in the regeneration, because he knew they were going to be reincarnated here again, doing the same thing. So I'll continue. It says, in the regeneration, when the Son of Man shall sit in the throne of his glory, ye also shall sit upon 12 thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Israel. Key word, judging the 12 tribes of Israel. Okay, so now, right, this is going to be in the kingdom of heaven. That's where Yahushua is going to get his throne, all right, to judge, all right, or to sit upon to sit in the throne of his glory, because it's going to be really his kingdom. All right. Now, to prove to you that it's going to be here on earth, the Lord said the disciples are also going to, the elect are also going to sit upon 12 thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Israel, right? Okay. All right. This is Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse 15. That which hath been is now, and that which is to be hath already been. And the Most High requireth that which is past. And moreover, I saw under the sun the place of judgment. The place of judgment. that wickedness was there, and the place of righteousness, that iniquity was there. And I said in mine heart, the Most High shall judge the righteous and the wicked, for there is a time there for every purpose and for every work. So Solomon said what? He saw under the sun the place of judgment. And guess what? What did the Lord promise his disciples? That when he sits on his throne, they're also going to sit on 12 thrones doing what? Judging the 12 tribes of Israel. So where is that the place of judgment? Solomon just said under the sun, right? And where is that? That's the earth. Okay, because when you go here to Genesis, hey, that's why we got them precepts, man. Yeah, we prove everything we say. Okay. Genesis 1 verse 1 verse 14. And the powers said, let there be lights in the firmament of the heaven, to divide the day from the night, and let them be for signs and for seasons and for days and years. Let them be for lights in the firmament and of the heaven, to give light upon the earth. Upon the earth. Because what? Oh boy. Because the heavens are above the earth. Okay, the heavens are above the earth. When you look at the sun, you don't look down, you look up. So when Solomon said he saw under the sun, he's referring to the earth. Why? Because the sun is inside the firmament of the earth. And it's going to get into that here. So it says, let them be for lights in the firmament of the heaven, to give light upon the earth. And it was so. All right. So the Lord basically what? He made the lights, right? Which include the sun, the moon, and the stars. And he put them in the firmament, right? In the heavens, right? Now, let me get a quick precept. This is Isaiah 55 verse 9. For as the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts than your thoughts. Right? So the heavens are higher than the earth. So if the sun is in the heavens, then you got to look up, right? To see the sun. So that's why Solomon said he saw, moreover, he saw under the sun the place of judgment, because that's where? That's on the earth. All right. So let's keep on proving this point. This is verse 16 in Genesis, the first chapter. And the powers made two great lights, the greater light to rule the day, and the lesser light to rule the night. He made the stars also. So what's the greater light? What's the light that rules in the daytime? How do you know when it's daytime or not? You look out and you see the sun, right? And how do you know when it's nighttime? You see the moon. Okay, that's except this, unless it's a new moon. But those are the two lights. The greater one to rule the day, because the sun is brighter than the moon, and the lesser light to rule the night, because you still get light from the moon at night. It's just not as bright as the sun. Okay, and the powers set them in the firmament of the heaven, to give light upon the earth. Right? Upon the earth. So that means that, once again, the sun, which is in the heavens or in the firmament, and the firmament is above the earth. Just like when you get rain, rain doesn't come from underground, rain comes from above. When it starts raining, you cover your head. You look up and you see the raindrops. Just like when the sun is too hot, you put your hand up above your head to keep, to, you know what I mean, to give you that shade, right? When the sun gets hot, where do you go? You go sit under a tree to block the sun, which is above you, okay, from hitting you. You know, and I know I'm really getting in there and making my point, but hey, you have to. I have to drill the understanding in there. You know, that low willingness sticks. Okay. So we've proved what Solomon said. All right. Moreover, under the sun, he saw the place of judgment. And what did the Lord tell his disciples? Did he not tell them that they were going to be judging? Okay. Are we not going to be kings and rulers and handing out judgments? All right. Judging the whole world? Okay, well, let me get a precept on that. So now the question is, where's the kingdom of heaven gonna be? All right, because we know there's gonna be judgment. This is 1 Corinthians 6, verse 2. Do ye not know that the saints shall judge the world? And then you ask, who are the saints? Well, let's get that real quick. Psalms chapter 50, verse 5. Gather my saints together unto me, those that have made a covenant with me by sacrifice. Who were those? The children of Israel. Okay. Let's get another one. This is Psalms chapter 148, verse 14. He also exalteth the horn of his people, the praise of all his saints, even of the children of Israel, a people near unto him, praise ye Yahweh. So we understand the saints are who? They're Israelites, right? Cool. So, 1 Corinthians 6 chapter, verse 2. Do ye not know that the saints or the Israelites shall judge the world? And if the world shall be judged by you, and who's it going to begin with? The elect. The 144,000 under Yahushua. They're going to be the governing body. The judges. So it says, and if the world shall be judged by you, are ye unworthy to judge the smallest matters? We're going to judge the world, but when are we going to do that? The Lord told his disciples when. When the Lord is on his throne, we're going to be on our thrones. Because we're going to be what? Joint heirs with him. Okay? It says, know ye not that we shall judge angels? How much more things that pertain to this life? If then ye have judgments of things pertaining to this life, set them to judge who are least esteemed in the church. Okay? So that's the point right there. We're going to be judging in this life. We're going to be made judges. Kings and priests. What is that? Revelation. All right. Revelation 1 and 6. It says, and has made us kings and priests unto the Most High and his Father. To him be glory and dominion forever and ever. Amen. So what do kings and priests do? They judge. And that's what we're going to be doing, because that's what Yahushua promised us. Okay. And we've proved where the place of judgment is. So now, once again, where's the kingdom of heaven going to be? It's going to have to be on earth. Okay. Because we're going to be judging in the kingdom of heaven, and we know where that place of judgment is. It's on the earth. Okay. There is a heaven, which is the spirit world, but the scriptures don't talk about only one heaven. All right. They refer to the atmosphere as the heavens. They refer to heaven, all right, as a state of rulership, a condition. They refer to heavens as the spirit world. Okay. And then we have the kingdom of heaven, you know, which goes hand in hand with the rulership or the estate of heaven. Okay. So yes, the kingdom of heaven is going to be on earth. We're going to be in here. Everybody really is going to be in the kingdom of heaven. But what's really going to make it our kingdom is we're going to be ruling. We're going to be on top. We're going to be the kings in our kingdom. And we're going to get to enjoy our women, our food. Because why is the Lord going to renew the earth? Did he not say he made the earth to be a paradise for us? Did the scriptures not say the Lord made the world for our sakes? What do you do in the world? You enjoy the pleasures of it. Okay? You telling me we working all this hard to go sit in the spirit world? You can't bust no cheeks. You can't do none of that. You're just gonna sit under a tree and just not do nothing. What kind of heaven is that? Okay? Nah, man, we're gonna be on the kingdom of heaven, man, and that's why the Lord is gonna change our bodies. Because if not, why isn't he just gonna let us go up and into the spiritual bodies? No, he said we're gonna be like him. We're gonna have new bodies that we can live on the earth. We can have that everlasting life with. Okay. Now, before I leave, I'll end it with this last precept, which is just straight up Revelation chapter 21 and 1. And I saw a new heaven and a new earth. For the first heaven and the first earth were passed away, and there was no more sea. Okay, and that's representing the rulership, because the scriptures say Esau is the end of the world, but Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. That new heaven, that new rulership, which is gonna be the beginning of what? The kingdom of heaven. Okay. And where did John see it? He saw it. I was gonna tell you where he saw it. And I, John, saw the holy city, New Jerusalem, coming down from the Most High out of heaven, prepared as a bride adorned for her husband. Coming down. Okay? Now, this wasn't an actual physical city, but it represented the elect. Because we are the kingdom. All right? The kingdom of heaven is really with us, the Israelites. Okay? But yeah, we're going to have physical mansions and palaces and land and all of that. Okay? And right here where it says a new earth, it's really a refreshed earth. Kainos. All right? So, hey, man, that's what it meant. Now, Lord willing, this is edifying unto the elect, you know, and then, you know, that brought some clarity and understanding. All right, which brothers, and you know, in this know, we already know this, okay? But every now and then, because you know, you still have new viewers who watch, new sheep that come across. Okay, so it's always good to go over these breakdowns and, you know, edify always. Okay, so with that, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, and Shalom.